Alright, what's up guys? So this video is going to be a 2-for-1 special talking on a video that just recently got a copyright strike. And then also I do believe that there are people out there that abuse the copyright strike system, because I know a lot of people. So because I feel like I'm like jumping the gun, I'm going all over the place and stuff. So let's just start with what happened, what led to me making this video. So earlier today, I check my emails and I see that I got a copyright strike, and I'm like, dang, bro, I don't like any forms of strikes. I don't like copyright strikes, guideline strikes, none of that stuff, so I try to avoid those the best of my ability. But yeah, there are at times where with the line of work that I do, that there are people out there that are not going to like their work being re-uploaded. So yeah, if there was ever a conversation, and yeah, there's been times before where creators have done that. They've reached out to me and they're like, hey, can you take down this video? I don't want people and it's been more so with reaction videos. I've never had nobody contact me over a voiceover video, but if they were, it still would be the same business with the reaction videos. People have reached out to me and they're all like, hey, can you take down this video? Like, I actually had it where it wasn't even a YouTuber themselves. It was a friend of the YouTube. It was either a friend or a fan. But anyways, they were changing up their content and they didn't want the content that I reacted to. They didn't want that form of content up anymore. So I believe it was the person that made the video in the first place. They took the video down because it was like a compilation video. But they took the video down, the uploader of the compilation. And then yeah, then the friend that reached out to me and then was all like, hey, can you take this video down? I have no problems about it. It was one of those things where I'm like, I do not mind. If you have an issue with me uploading, and I think it's one of those things where it's like, it wasn't like it was a video that was exposing somebody's behavior, because it's stuff like that. Like, for an example, let's say if Minnesota Boy had reached out to me and wanted me to take down the reaction where he's like all racist and stuff, my question to him would be is, are you still racist? Because I get and understand where it's like you're trying to change for the better, but if you're just doing this because you don't want people to see that side of you, and I'm like, well, fam, tough. It's one of those things where it's like, you should have never displayed that side of you in the first place. But if it's on some stuff where it's like, yeah, like, you used to do gaming videos, you cracked a lot of different jokes where you're changing, like, you don't want that sense of humor to be uploaded anymore, which is what that compilation video was. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's one of those things. I'm like, hey, it ain't even one of those things. I ain't gonna put up no argument. I'm not gonna question you about it. I'm taking the video down. So anyways, yeah, got the copyright strike. I reached out to the individual on Instagram. It was no response, and I reached out to them through email. And I just, maybe I'm just overlooking this interaction in the email a little bit too much, but so anyways, I reached out to them. The first thing I say is, hi, this is Tyler, TMossBoss, to just, let them know, just in case if they didn't know by time. Well, my email thing does says TMossBoss, so that's why I was like, I didn't know. But anyways, but I go on to say, I uploaded one of your videos to my channel and I received a copyright strike over it. I wasn't claiming the video as my own, but simply adding my voice over the video to add my own comedy to the original video. It will be extremely helpful for my channel if you could possibly remove the strike. Thank you and have a great day. I didn't say anything crazy. I didn't do anything crazy. That is all that I said to the dude, right? He responds back, and maybe I'm just kind of looking into this too much, but he goes on and says, hi, and he put this in like bold words and stuff. So he goes on, I don't know if that's just how Google is, but anyways, he says, hi, Tyler, that won't be possible. I did not give permission to anyone to use my videos. I won't have any problem taking legal action if necessary. Don't use my videos. Here's the thing. How I look at that is there are going to be people that are going to use your videos. You can't stop the whole world, because like it's one of those things where if let's say my voiceover video blew up and then it just led into a bunch of different people that do a bunch of voiceover content to you, are you gonna like take the time to take down each and every one of their videos? Because if so, it's like, fam, I get if you don't want people to use your content, but at the same time, it wasn't like I was claiming, because so that's what the video was that it was this like him pretty much like displaying his creativity with CGI. He had made this CGI video where it was like this big giant roach. I mean, it was like probably about the size of like them rat roaches on Fallout. But anyways, yeah, he was just showing where it was like, I think it was like Australian roaches or something like that, but it was CGI, it wasn't real. And so I had added my own comedy to the video, pretty much all like, oh yeah, if I see that in my household, I'm moving out. Like that roach, that's that roach's house now. Like I'm gone, you know? That was it. That's all that I talked throughout the whole voice, or throughout the whole video. My voice was going throughout the whole video. And that's what I mean by like, I think that there are people out there that abuse the copyright strike system, and I'm not saying that he was in the wrong for what he did. I mean, if he felt that that's what he needed to do what you got to do. But at the same time, I'm like, I do feel like that there could have been a conversation beforehand, you know? So it's like you just jump straight to the copyright strike. I'm saying it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, if you would have reached out to me, I would have had no problem taking down that video. So that's why I'm like, fam, it's things like that where I'm like, it could have been handled better, pretty much what I'm trying to say. But the whole like threatening me with legal actions, I'm like, fam, it was a 15-second video of, I don't even, what, you know what's crazy is that maybe that was his place that was being recorded. And so I'm like, okay, if that's the case, I'm like, then you maybe shouldn't have done that video inside of your place, in case if you were worried about your place being broadcast out there and stuff. You're the one that posted the video. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, I'm confused by it. But at the same time, it's like, it's a 15-second video. All right, like it wasn't like I had, you know, pretty much took the video as my own and said, hey guys, this CGI work, all this stuff, it's all mine. I did all of this. I wasn't taking credit for your work. I was just simply adding a voice over to the video. So that's why I'm like, fam, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, okay, so let's say for an example, James Cameron, you know, because since you're like into the CGI, I imagine that he's aiming for himself to be hired on for movies or something. But yeah, let's say James Cameron did a voiceover to one of your videos, or Stephen King or Steven Spielberg, you know, they did a voiceover, posted it on there. Do you think you would have had that same energy? Do you think you would have threatened James Cameron with a lawsuit? That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think that there are people out there when it comes to like that type of stuff where they trip on it if it's like some small creator, like because yeah, and let's say if it wasn't them, let's say if it was like Mr. Beast or PewDiePie or whoever, KSI, whoever, like, yeah, just big content creators and things, still he wouldn't have had that same energy, especially if it was somebody like Mr. Beast. So that's why I'm like, I just find it funny how there's people out there where they have that energy where it's like, oh, if it's a big creator, I ain't gonna have a problem with it, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. I'm like, oh my god, Mr. Beast just did a voiceover to one of my videos. But if it's this small little content creator that I've never seen before, oh yeah, he's gonna get threatened with a lawsuit. Yeah, it's things like that where I'm like, fam, I will take down the video just because. And so no, the funny thing is that, so the video, I originally uploaded it onto Instagram. Instagram has that feature where you can like remix a video and then you can add your like, yeah, you can do voiceover stuff to it, right? So that's how I do a lot of my videos. So what's funny is that he didn't take down the video on Instagram. He just only took down the video on YouTube, because Instagram, they're not as strict when it comes to that type of stuff. Like, they do take down videos and stuff, but it's like, it's rare when I get like copy. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever gotten a copyright strike, because yeah, it's like you put the stuff out there to be used. Plus on top of that, you are getting given the original uploader credit. When you do a remix to a person's video, it's at like the bottom of the screen almost, but it shows like originally posted by, and then yeah, whoever the person is and stuff. So, and I'm not gonna do that either. I'm not gonna name drop the person and things. But I do find that kind of odd though, where it's like you're threatening me with a lawsuit because I did a voiceover to one of your videos. Like, I just feel like that's a little bit too extreme, don't you think? Like, I'm not gonna sue somebody because, oh, they did. If that's the case, that the people that made videos on me, then maybe I should do that, threaten them with a lawsuit and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, so people are probably all like, what did I say? Because if you know me, you know I said something. I didn't say anything crazy. So when he did send that email, I did say noted. Also, a little bit of advice: people are going to use your videos. if they are being negative about the video, then I can understand your concern. But if not, putting down others when in reality they're promoting your content is not going to be good for you in the long run. Good luck with your career. If you would have reached out and asked, I would have had no problem taking the video down. So yeah, I was like, I just left it at that, because I'm like, I don't know what this guy got going on mentally. Maybe, yeah, he thinks it's like 2014, 2017 when, like, oh, people using my content, oh, I gotta have issues with it now. But yeah, I'm like, maybe if this would have been younger me, I probably would have said something crazy to him. But yeah, this is older and wiser me. I'm like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not going to be hateful. I'm not going to be evil. I'm not going to wish anything bad upon him and his career. It's one of those things where it's like, lesson learned. I just got to be a little bit more careful when doing voiceover videos. But it's one of those things where I feel like that he's going to be going through another situation like this in the future. Whether it's, hopefully it ain't me. Hopefully it's some dude. I don't even want it to be somebody else. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, to whoever that guy is, maybe he is watching my video, maybe he's not. But yeah, you need to have a different outlook when it comes to content creating. People are not using your videos, I guess, for their own benefit or for their, like, whatever you got made up in your mind. It's like, bro, it ain't that. It's just that's the thing with content creating, is that creators are just looking for other creators that, like, yeah, if I know that because yeah, there was one of my videos that reached like 20-something million views on Instagram, and then it's like videos on here reaching 14 million views. So like, that's why I'm like, fam, I'm looking at it as an opportunity where I can help out another creator. So yeah, my thing is this, whether it was, because yeah, the individual that had used my voice, let me see how many subscribers they have. They didn't have that many subscribers, but let me see where their channel was at. Here we go. Okay, so they have I'm gonna drop them a sub too, but anyways, they have 5,000 subscribers. It's one of those things where I'm like, whether they have 5,000 subscribers, 5 million, 5 billion, you got 5 billion subscribers and feature my video, that's crazy. All right. But anyways, but yeah, I look at it as like, okay, in the long run, let's say this person blows up and then people are going back and watching that video of theirs where they had my voice a part of it. It's one of those things where people are going to probably be all like, hey, who's there? Because I did comment underneath the video. So I guess if they are all like, oh yeah, that is my voice playing in the background, it's like, okay, well then talk. I'm like, are you going to sound like me, or are you going to sound like whoever you are? Yeah, even then, if somebody were to do some stuff like that, I'm like, okay, prove it. Prove that your voice it sounds just like mine. So yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, there's just some people where I'm like, they look too deep into stuff like that, and it's like, fam, it ain't even that deep. It's not that serious. All right, so it's like, you gonna sue me over a Instagram reel or a YouTube short. It's like, yeah, that's one of those things where I'm like, I just don't know how to react to, I gotta go out, buy me a suit or some courtroom attire clothes. I gotta like bring up all this like documentation and all this other stuff. It's just something that I find funny. I find it amusing. I'm like, you gonna really sue me over a YouTube short? Okay. So yeah, that's just one of those things though where I'm like, hey, to whoever that guy is, I'm like, yeah, you don't ever have to worry about me doing a voiceover video. And I feel that, what would have been mad funny too? Let's say that guy, he goes and he sees one of my videos, or yeah, he sees that it's like my videos do be getting a lot of views, the voiceover videos and stuff, and he's all like, oh, he was all like, I'm gonna take it off and you can leave the video. If the thing is this, if he has it where he sends me an email, or he's all like, oh, you can put the video back up, I'm like, you obviously have an issue with me having your videos uploaded and stuff. You gonna threaten to take me to court or legal actions and things. Keep that same energy. It's one of those things where I'm all like, nah, bro, if you see a bunch of people where if I'm doing voiceovers to their videos and they blowing up, and then it's like, it's a win-win for everybody, and you're all like, oh, do a voiceover to mine. Nah, you good, bro. I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not a person about holding grudges, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I'm like, you need to understand that not everybody is your enemy. So, but if that's how you want things to be, then it's like, all right, bro, then have it that way. I ain't gonna get in the middle of that, but Anyways, no, I'm getting ready to stream here in a moment. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of let y'all know the business. So yeah, if you did see that video where I did the voiceover to the roach and you're all like, wait a minute, where did it go? Yeah, the original uploader, he took the video down. So anyways, yeah, it's whatever. I ain't tripping about it and stuff. So, but I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.